Hey everyone, I'm Brian Woods with Countdown, and here are the top 7 games of the year so far that I've played. Number 7 is Sunless Skies. I went into Sunless Skies expecting the cosmic horror that was in its predecessor, Sunless Seas, but in actual space this time. It's not space. I don't really know what it is. It's not space though, it's not the ocean. It improved on the foundation built in Sunless Seas with improved combat, and it's kind of more accessible now. It continues with its really good story, very slow, world building. That's really good. I'd expect all this from a game in the Fallen London universe, but it came out at a time where I was not looking for something like this. I do hope to get back to it though. Number 6, Ape Out. I wanted to like Ape Out a lot more than I did. It's a pretty violent top-down action game that kind of looked like Hotline Miami, which is one of the greats. But I found myself being shot in ways I felt like I had no way to avoid. I also found the grab and throw mechanic limited. If I can grab and throw people, when I see a barrel, I demand to be able to throw it at people. The soundtrack is really cool and adapts to what's happening in the game. And I think the premise of being an ape trying to get out of captivity remains a good motivator throughout the several different scenarios. It's not as amazing as Hotline Miami, but I guess it wasn't exactly trying to be that. Number 5, Baba Is You is a puzzle game where you usually start every level as Baba and push word blocks to make phrases that affect the properties of objects in the world. You can check it out in the graphic on this side. Like let's say there's lava in a level. If you can get the lava block to replace that with Baba, then lava is you, and then you control every lava tile in the level at once. I really like this game, but after several levels, it never relents in its difficulty. In a lot of puzzle games, you'll come across a puzzle that you feel is beyond you. You feel it's impossible. But once you beat it, there are a few puzzles you feel good about before you start them. Every level in Baba Is You feels impossible when you see it. The pain never stops. Number 4, Risk of Rain 2 is a behind-the-back shooter follow-up to the 2D roguelite Risk of Rain 1. It feels like a 3D version of the first game. It's not a bad thing. The best part about Risk of Rain is getting lucky and finding the right combination of items in a run that just make you feel unkillable, and this game does that really well, kind of even better than the first one. It's actually hard for me to go back to the first one now. They're very different games. This one just feels better to me. It's also a lot of fun playing at co-op, and it has a much improved matchmaking system compared to the first game, on PC anyways. It's on early access right now, so I look forward to the additional changes and content that will be added on its road to launch. Number 3, Dreams. Media Molecule's new project Dreams was just put out in early access on PS4, probably because it's been announced since 2015 and they needed some kind of return on it. Remember Little Big Planet when you'd see a viral video of like someone making a working calculator? Dreams has fully embraced this idea and gives you the tools to make pretty much anything. Short films, games, everything in between. I played some multiplayer like dueling games, a first-person shooter, a racing game. They aren't all amazing, but the shooter had reload animations, the dueling game had voice acting, the racing game had like a weird drifting mechanic. The fact that these things are all possible is what's so amazing to me. I'm really excited to see what happens and what gets made when more people get their hands on this. It's one of the most exciting things this year. Number 2, Apex Legends is the only Battle Royale game I've enjoyed since PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. When it was revealed that one of my favorite developers, Respawn, was making a Battle Royale, I was a little disappointed it wasn't Titanfall 3, but I had faith. I was right to have faith. In a landscape where there's so many early access Battle Royale games, Respawn came out with a highly polished game that really hooked me and my friends for a bit. Number 1. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. This is probably the first From Software game I'll beat. It does something different from Dark Souls and Bloodborne by removing my own self-doubt. By stripping out a lot of the RPG mechanics present in the other games, I feel like I can't mess up. As far as I know, there's only one main weapon, and there's a skill tree, but it never feels like I'm going down the wrong path by picking one skill over the other. There's upgradable items, though, and I haven't touched those because I'm afraid that I'll mess up. Another thing that makes me prefer this game over the others is that the enemies so far are mostly human-esque. They have swords, I have a sword. And having a parry window and attack pattern that are easily understandable to me, it feels like I'm on a level playing field with them. This is probably the most friendly From Software game in terms of mechanical complexity. It's not that the combat itself isn't deep, it's that I'm not stressing on how my damage is being calculated or grinding out levels so I can increase my stats. There is this animal boss and I hate it. In a game about sword fighting, don't give me an enemy without arms. It feels like I just had to brute force this fight and seems like a step back from the swordplay found in the game up to that point. But the highs in this game do outweigh that boss fight. I hope it maintains its momentum for me. And that's it. Those are the games that came out this year that I felt that were worth talking about. Those are pretty much all the new games that I played this year, except New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, because it's not very good. Back to you, Kelsey and Meg.